everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our continued, playthrough of Darkest Dungeon, the board game. I promised y'all I'd be playing this through a campaign, and I've got to get to it. I'm resetting though. I'm not going to be continuing where we left off last time, because frankly I want to play a different configuration of heroes to start off with, and maybe bring some of the other heroes into it later or whatever. But I did redraw stuff, and we are still fighting against the Necromancer in the first portion of the game. Now remember, you're going to go through two quests, and then a quest against the boss, and then do it again with a different boss, and then one more time, and then you go into the Darkest Dungeon itself and see if you can survive that without going mad, and without dying, and without being diseased. I don't know, all the other stuff that you can become in this game. Now, this game is massive. So I have my very, very big tabletopper here, which I love. This is one of the coolest things I've ever owned, I think, from a gaming perspective as an accessory, is the tabletopper, because it goes right on a nice folding table. I can break it down into a couple pieces. It's massive, but I got a big one, right? I got this big one, and I am using all of it to play this game effectively, because it's quite a beefy game, and I didn't want to be taking things on and off the table constantly and maybe screwing them up. So I'm going to warn you, this is a fiddly game. It does capture the very essence, the very cool essence of one of my favorite PC games of all time, or actually just video games of all time, Darkest Dungeon, and its sequels. It doesn't feel as much like the sequel. It's based on the first one, not Darkest Dungeon 2. But I really enjoy both. I still play both of them. It's not like I went from 1 to 2 and said I'll never go back to 1 again. I play 1 on my iPad. Darkest Dungeon, the original, is actually an app version of it now that you can play on a mobile device. I play it on my iPad still. Sometimes still play it on my PC, but I started playing Darkest Dungeon 2, which is absolutely fabulous, and it's about to go into general release with some cool characters, and I really enjoy it. It's fantastic. But we're here to play the board game, so let's get on with that. So once again, we're going to be playing the Necromancer. Now, I'm not going to go back and do a massive rules thing. I already did that. So if you want to see that, continue to go backwards in this series. Episode 1, I describe all the rules, the mode of game, the gameplay, etc. The only thing I'm going to touch on here is the differences in our character. We're going to do those final bits of setup for the first game that you do that actually determine the game. So we are going to be fighting against the Necromancer, who has mastery over life and death, right? He's a bad dude, and we're going to deal with him. And if you recall, maybe you don't, but if you do recall, or you played it before, he does bring this to the dungeon. Now, one of the cool things about the bosses is that they have stuff, and one of the things he brings into the dungeon is, see that symbol there, or that means the dungeon. It says, this is unholy. It says, after battles, remove any non-unholy monsters permanently from the game. So, during this boss battle, we're going to be removing things that are not undead from the game. And then when we're in town, the graveyard is blocked. We can't use it because he's been raising the dead from the graveyard, and it's probably been making it difficult for people to visit their loved ones or go in there at all. So we're not going to be able to go there. And that's going to be something I have to remember. I will remember to get rid of the unholy critters and stuff like that. I hope. But I'm sure you'll let me know if I don't. The other thing we have to do is pick our quest. Now, we're going to pick a quest, 2 quests, and we're going to get rid of one, and that one will be gone from our options for the second quest that we go on. So let's take these. We're going to give them a little quick shuffle and pick 2 of them and decide which one we are going to take and go on. So let's do that. Okay. We'll take that one and that one. The rest of these are just going to go back. We'll catch up with them later. And by the way, I got cards everywhere in this game. I've laid them out nicely so they're going to be easy for me to follow, but they're everywhere. So we have, let's see, we have Dem Bones. This one, I got to get, you know what I got to find, I couldn't find it right away, but I will find it, is the camp token, because we can't camp, and that's how many points we get when we camp. But it says a revered ancestor was laid to rest in the ruins, their sacred bones left untouched, but what is dead should remain as such. Thus the noble duty fell upon your shoulders to retrieve them lest they fall prey to the dark taint of the land. So our objective in this will be, there's some special rules. It says objective rooms are this. A hero must spend 2 actions on this spot here, this area, to recover the bones. Set aside the tomb room for this quest, as you won't get to encounter it in a non-objective encounter. Objective rooms are cleared only if the bones have been collected. And these are the types of rooms that will be in this. We get 1 experience point for the bones are collected. We can do that twice. Or we have Scout Ahead. I'll probably do this one. This one's easier. The estate has remained secret far too long. Thus, it was the rightful owner's decision to send you on a mission to scout ahead. Who knew what horrors lurked in these shadows, though? I think we're going to do that one. I've seen a couple of playthroughs of Dem Bones, and it's fine. I don't have any problem with it, but I do think we're going to do that one. Now, we have some blinged out components, so I'm going to show you that. And in the meantime, we're going to get our dungeon layout going, too. This is the darkest dungeon, so we're not going to have that there right now, but we're just going to pull one of the dungeon layouts from here, and hopefully we get one that's favorable to our escapades. This is another darkest dungeon one, so we got to get rid of that one. Okay, not get rid of, just remove them from the moment till we're in the darkest dungeon. All right, let's pick this one out of the middle. Well, that's interesting. All right, so we have this, and I'm going to get the tiles now that we need to set up the door tiles, and I have something cool for that, though I haven't painted them yet. Okay, check this out. I got actual doors. I do want to paint these, though, and then they have stickers on the back that show the rooms. Like, this is really dark because it's just an empty room, but you think you get the idea. Speaking of which, we're going to have 2 empty rooms. We're going to have one, whatever they call darkness room. I'll get out the cards, and I'll go over which each room is, but this one means that you're going to deal with more darkness. What is that one called? It's called the dark room. And it's going to suck up our lamp light, or torch light. We also then have, let's see, 2 curio rooms. We'll get those out. 2 battle rooms, and 1 trap room. So the rest of these can go back. We'll put them aside. And we have all of our rooms out here. Now, we don't have any objective rooms, unfortunately. There's no objective rooms to get here, just these ones here. So again, it's 2 empties, 1 dark, 2 combat rooms. There we go. Let's mix these up. I'll just play with them or move them around, then we'll start to place them out onto our dungeon tile. And the reason I want to do this part of the setup with y'all, now I have to roll our provision dice too before we get going, but we'll get there in a second. I just want to mix these up nice and good. Then here we go. So this will be the first one there. This is a good room to scout right off the bat because we have quite a few locations will open up when we scout, and while scouting does cause us some stress, it also causes us to roll a few less bad dice. Additionally, again, I have my painted set of miniatures now. This is the torch, which will mark our way as we go through the dungeon. And as soon as we encounter something, we're going to go into a combat or something like that. We'll move this stuff around. And we're going to put this aside now. Now, what are the benefits of going through here? We're going to gain 1 experience for every 2 rooms cleared. Now, here's the thing. You can't clear dark rooms and trap rooms. So the most we can do is most we can do is get 2 experience points out of this. Quite by design, I imagine. And why am I having an extra door? This one just not... Oh, that was the extra objective room. Okay, no problem. All right, well, let's do this now. We're going to take... Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our dice. It's 2 per character. We have 4 characters. So we're going to roll all of these and see what we get. Ah, nice. Okay, this is what we have here. So we have 3 tools. We got no darkest dungeon symbols, which means no wild ones. 3 tools. That's not great. We have 2 potions. I mean, it is cool, but it's not what we have no torches, so we're going to be really hard pressed with curios. We're going to need to try and find some way to get some additional provisions, I think, as we go along. So those are our provision dice. And now we are going to scout. Well, actually, before we get on to the next part of it, let me introduce you to our cast and crew. We're going to start with one of my all-time favorites. Which is one of the reasons I wanted to change it up, is I'm going to have the Hellion in this game, and this is my painted miniature of the Hellion right here. As you can see, I got to do a little more on the base, but she is painted, and I did what they call a slap shop version of this with the speed paints. All of these are speed painted. I just made them so they could be they'd look good enough on the table. Anyway, she's got the powers If It Bleeds, Iron Swan, and Wicked Hack. We'll talk about those as we go. She is resistant to bleed. She has a Hamlet ability. She has 1 dodge, 14 health, and can move 2. That is the Hellion. Next up, we're going to keep the Highwayman in play. He was with us last time. He's going to stay here. He's got Wicked Slice, Pistol Shot, and Open Vein. He too has 1 dodge. He is resistant to stun. That's his Hamlet ability, 12 health, and he can move 2 at level 1. Of course, none of them have any stress, but I might as well do that now. Put the stress up 1. Now, I know I can see the different parts of the track. The one I can see where it's divided, even though it's dark. I think the veneer makes it hard to see on camera, though. So if you can't see it, just know I moved it up 1 because we're going to be scouting. I did that with the Hellion as well. Next up, I chose the Grave Robber. She's going to be in our 3rd position, and that's her miniature right there. She is wielding a pickaxe that she used to dig up dead people, I imagine. She too has a dodge, so I don't have the beefiest people. The beefiest one is the Hellion. She's our fighter. She can be our front line, and she is, in fact, our front line in this scenario. 11 health, can move 3. That's pretty good. Got resistance to Blight, which is great. And this is her Hamlet skill. She can be doing Pick to the Face. Can't go wrong with that kind of an ability, can you? Poison Dart, which applies Blight to enemies. And then Throw Dagger, which, if they're blighted and targeted, does a lot of great things. So between her and the Highwayman, I think they're going to have quite a bit of good time with some ranged combat. Our only real melee person in this. Well, they all double down. They all can do melee as well, but most of the Grave Robber and the Highwayman do very well at ranged too. And then last but not least, I am bringing our Vestal. I mean, she is one of the healers in the game, and there aren't very many of them. So we're going to hopefully we're going to keep her alive this time. You know, if you watched my last playthrough of this, she died, and I'm going to put the marker up 1 for her and 1 for our Grave Robber. But anyway, let's get down here with the Vestal. Again, I got the same thing: Judgment, Divine Grace, and Divine Comfort. Those are both healing abilities. So her only attack ability is Judgment. It can attack at range 1 and 2, can hit 1 target. The cool thing is it heals herself, so this is while it's doing damage. So she is basically our healer without a doubt. And again, I'll play on each one of the abilities as we go along, or rather describe them in more detail. All right, so we scouted. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to turn these rooms over. So we have a curio room there. We have no torches. I probably won't be going there if I can avoid it. We have a trap room here. That's not good. That means this room is dead to us unless we want to go another way. And an empty room. Wow, those are not great choices. What a start for us. But next up we're going to do... Now normally if you don't scout ahead, you're going to roll 2 of these dice, these peril dice, or whatever they're called, per character. But because we scouted, we only have to roll 1 per character. So we're going to do that and see what kind of trouble we start off with already. Now we can use those provisions that we rolled to prevent some bad things from happening to us. All right, here are our characters. I'm going to set this right here for now. I think you can still see it. Yeah, perfect. This is going to be the die we're going to roll for the Hellion. Let's see what she gets. She got a food. I do have some provisions. She's probably going to have to eat one. Well, I'll read to you exactly what these are as we go. The Highwayman got a curio. That's not going to be good. That means he's going to take some good and bad effects from the curio. The Grave Robber got a trap. Not so bad. Not so bad. And the Vestal got a obstacle or rubble. So we'll take a look at those. Now, this game has a lot of iconography, but it also has some great reference cards. So here's the rooms, and here's the conditions. You can see those, and you got the room cards there, and then you also have these exploration dice. So again, the ones I want to look at is rubble. You can see what we have to do there. But first thing we have to do is resolve hunger. So we can consume 1 food or suffer 2 damage from the hero. Well, we have 3 provisions, so we might as well do that. That gets rid of both of these dice for the scenario. Now the curio, I can do nothing about, unfortunately, so we're going to have to deal with the curio. And how a curio room works, I'll show you that. It's just like this. Draw a curio card. You can consume a torch before doing so to ignore the negative effects, but we have no torches, which I had said before. So we're just going to have to draw a curio card, and now I need to remember where I put the curio cards in all the card decks. So I will find the curios and bring them out. They were right in front of me. So I have basically 3 trays of cards. There's a lot of cards in the game. So let's see what befalls the highwayman before we even get into a dungeon. And oh, by the way, I was heading towards the empty room. I mean, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't go there. The trap's no good. Well, we could go through the curio room before I finish this. I think we'll head to the curio. No, the trap, the blank room has more possibilities because it leads to 3 other rooms. So we'll continue on our path with that. All right. Let's see. We got the Iron Maiden. A rusty Iron Maiden stands against the wall, clasped shut. You feel tense as you try to open the devilish contraption. Alas, you pin yourself onto one of these spikes by accident. The text is all like a weird style, and from me trying to read it while also showing it on screen is proving to be a little difficult for me. You curse your luck as you break free, feeling nauseous and sick. Ooh, so we're going to take another stress right there. That's what that is. Bummer. So that's 2. Then we are going to take a, I think that's a negative quirk, might be a positive one. We're going to take 3 bleed tokens, so now it's time to explain that part of the game. Let's get out some of the tokens that we're going to need to be playing with. These are bleed tokens, and 3 of them, we're going to put a stack of 3 on the highwayman. And each turn that goes by, the highwayman is going to lose those bleed tokens, but take a damage as a result. Now, I know you go, well, why don't you just take the damage? Why don't they just do that? Well, first off, it works this way in the computer game. But secondly, and more importantly, you can do things to stop it, like use bandages, which I have, which I'm probably going to use. And we'll see how that goes. But we still have some things to do. That is, by the way, as I look at it up close, is a good thing. It is a positive. Let me find them. Where did I put those ones? I mean, I literally have cards everywhere. It's so funny. There's just the stacks of cards going every which way. There we go. Okay. These are what I was looking for, which is the positive card right here. Positive quirks. Let's see what we draw out of this pile. All right. This is the pile the stack that it's showing on the card that it's showing on the Iron Maiden. So we're going to get quick reflexes. So on traps, we're going to get a +2 dodge instead of a +1, and that goes into our. We have slots for these on the side that show we can have a max of 3 of these types of things, good and or bad, and so that goes in there, and we have done that. Okay, but we also have something else we have to do that's not good. These are diseases. And if you look on the Iron Maiden card, the last thing that happens in this curio room is a disease. So, let's see, poor guy, he's already diseased. Now, in the game, his name is Dismas. D-I-S-M-I-S-S. But we can name him something different. I'm all good with that. We'll do one more cut, see what disease we get. Creeping cough. So every time we run into an obstacle, we're going to take 1 bleed for 4 turns. That is really, really bad. So we're going to hold on to our bandages for that, I think. So he's got the creeping cough from reaching into the Iron Maiden, but he did quicken his reflexes. That resolves the curio die for the highwayman. Now we do have a trap for the grave robber. I'll show you what the trap does. The trap's not that bad, actually. I don't know if I want to. I have 3 shovels. I could just use them, but we would use 2 in this turn if we use both. So let's see. So the grave robber basically has an accuracy of 8. It's going to do 2 points per dungeon level. We're on a level 1 dungeon, and it's going to crit on a 2 for 4 points of damage. However, we are in a good way because we have a dodge, right? So we're going to roll, where's the D10? Normal D10, there we go. We're going to roll a D10, and that's going to help us determine whether or not we are damaged by this trap. Let's see what we get. A 10, that means it missed, so the trap did nothing. That was a worthy risk, and this die is gone. Okay, next up, we do have on the Vestal, we do have rubble, and we are going to use one of our tools to dig away the rubble so it doesn't affect us. And that is going to be our first exploration as we head into this empty room. Now, unfortunately for us, empty rooms don't go away. See if I can find that again so I can show you. There we go, room cards. Dark room. This is, no, not a dark room, empty room. Nothing special. Oh, and it is automatically cleared. So this one counts as a cleared room. So that is one of our two right there. That's not so bad. I thought it wasn't cleared, but it is what it is. Now, do I want to take another stress to go into this room? Let's go back to the main board. So we haven't had a fight yet, and I'm debating. It's one room. Do I explore it? Man, I tell you, rolling only one of those dice, those bad dice, it's really meaningful. Actually, it's more meaningful than I thought it would be when I first started playing. So I think we're going to each take a stress again. That means the Highwayman already is down, has 3 stress. The Hellion has 2. Everybody else has 2. So I'm marking their boards up, and we're going to uncover what this is. Oh, good. It's a battle. So we know that when we move in there, we're going into battle, but we have to do the rolls with the provision dice again, or the dice again, to see what we get. So let's go take care of that. All right, we're going to get one of these out, roll it for the Hellion. Let's hope it's a nothing. You know, there is a nothing. This is a creeping darkness or whatever. We'll deal with that. The Highwayman gets the same thing. This is not good. We don't have any torches. An obstacle for the Grave Robber. We got that, no problem. And food for the Vestal. We have that, no problem as well. But here's the problem with that die. Let me show you. Stressful darkness. Consume a torch or gain +2 stress or -1 light. Well, we can afford to... Where's my... I gotta get my torch token out. Hold on just a moment. We can afford to take... I think we're going to take both the hits. I don't want to take stress. Right now it's cool to keep the light up because heroes gain +1, but I think the Vestal's judgment... No, I didn't take any of her abilities to increase the light, so that's not good. I think, though, I don't... Well, the Hellion can take a stress. She'll take the 2 stress. Ooh, that's a lot, though. But she'll take it, so we're going to have to find a way to de-stress her. And then he is going to drop the light by 1. I think that's reasonable to do. Then we have to deal with another obstacle. So we're going to use our tools to dig our way through the rubble. And then last but not least, the Vestal needs to eat. We will do that, and we are good to go. Oh, wait. That is a bandage. I don't have any food. I used my one... Yeah, I did have a provision. I'm looking at it. But I guess I lumped them in with the bandages. So I cannot eat this, which means our Vestal is going to be the first one to take some damage because I thought those bandages were food, and they're not. They're bandages. So here we go. 2 points to the Vestal already. That's not good. But we are about to go into a battle room, and that's what this is. So we're going to get out another set of cards. We're going to put these 2 aside because these 2 are worth experience points to us. We now have 1 experience point we've gained. But now we have to draw. Let me find the room cards. Where are they? I'm going to be looking for room cards, all kinds of cards, the entire time I'm doing this. Okay, here they are. So we are going to go into a battle. See what room we're going to be battling in, and then I'll get that all set up for us. And we'll have a heck of a lot of fun battling some baddies. Alright, we're going to be in the Beacon of Light room. Now it says Stressful Darkness. The corridors are too dark. These corridors are too dark. These are the ones marked with the splash mark. Ending in here will suffer 1 stress, but Beacon of Light, heroes ending their turn on this recover 1 stress. Ooh, we got to get there because we have a stress problem, don't we? Alright, so that is going to be tile number 5. Let me get out the stack of tiles. I think I put them in order now so I can find them easily. And we'll get this ready to go. This is what they look like. They're big and they have a big number in the corner to show us what tile is. It's probably going to be on the other side. Here's 5. Okay, I got 5 out. We're going to get that set up. I will be right back and we'll have those all set up for us. Okay, there's a bit of glare on there. I'm sorry, but these are the darkness spots 1, 2, 3, and 4 that we can't stand if we're in those. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Ouch. We're going to have to get out of those areas and head over to here where we can recover some. Now, this space can only hold 4 characters, so that's not great, but we have some other spaces here that don't have a good or bad effect. The biggest challenge for us is we're starting down here, so we'll get our characters out. Now the one in the most aggressive stance is our Hellion. She's in the melee stance. Here she is. The melee stance symbol is right there, so we're going to start here with her. Next up is the one in the range stance, which is going to be our Grave Robber. Here she is. So she is going to be with the Hellion right here. That means that the Vestal and the Highwaymen are starting right there. Okay, now though, we're going to have to populate some bad guys. So let's do that. I'm going to get the bad guy deck out, and we're going to populate the heck out of those. Here is that deck. We're going to shuffle away, and we're going to populate some monsters onto here. So let's see. Now I have a monster board down here. We're going to go down and see what gets populated to it. Okay, here we go. We're going to do a quick shuffle. Now remember, in this scenario, this against the Necromancer, this game, when we have a battle, after the battle, anything that wasn't unholy is going to go away. It will leave the game. So the first up, we're going to have a Weber. It's a spider. It is not unholy, and it is looking to be in the back. So it will be back here. The next one up is going to be a Bone Soldier. He wants to be in the front, so he will be here. Now again, that's one that is unholy, so he will stay around. Now how do I know it's unholy? Because it says so right there. And it says front, which means that's how we know what position, what stance to put them in. And it's going to determine what abilities he's used. We got a Bone Rabble. He also wants to be in the front, so he'll go right there. And this is going to be a nice, not too bad of a fight for us. And then lastly, we have a Bone Arbalest. So we got the whole mix there. They want to be in the back, so they're going to be right there. And those are going to be the monsters that we're going to face in this scenario. I'm going to get them out, populate the board, and then we'll get going. Okay, here is our room all set up and ready to go. We've got our heroes there. You can see that the Bone Soldier and the Bone Arbalest, based on those symbols, are in this space. The Spitter, or the Weber, rather, is right here, and the Bone Rabble is over there. And these are the guys that we're going to have to fight. We've got to get out of the darkness. Now, for these two, they can get out pretty easily out of the dark. You know what? I'm thinking before we get into a battle, I might change out, because we have no way to increase our light, our torch. And I'm thinking about changing out the Judgment for the Dazzling Light. It doesn't do as much damage. And here, I'll show you. So, Judgment will do, and it does the self-heal, which is super cool, because she has to cast spells to her other abilities to heal herself. It does 1 to 2 range. So it's better in a lot of ways than the Dazzling Light, but the Dazzling Light can cost stun and does a increases our torch. This one does 8 and 4 damage. This one does 4 and 2 damage. I think we're going to do that just because I need a way to, now that I'm thinking about it, I need a way to increase light. I don't have any other way to do that. So since we haven't gotten into a battle, we can switch those out. We haven't done anything yet. We'll use that because I think that'll be more effective for us later on. All right, now that being said, we are going to get going, which means I need to find the initiative cards. That's the next thing that we need. Where are they? They're back in here, I believe. Yes, okay. So here are the initiative cards. I just want to make sure I have, yeah, there we go. Now we're going to shuffle these up, and this is going to determine the order with which we go. Now it's going to alternate between monsters and good guys. And when the good guys go, based on their stance, like when I draw a first hero card, it's going to be the Hellion who goes first. She luckily can move, so she's going to be able to get to the enemies quickly if she gets to go first. Hopefully she does. She can take out that archer rather quickly, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. And she'll still be in a darkness space, which means she can take a little extra stress. But that's the way it goes. All right, we'll just do another quick cut. These were all stacked in order, so I want to give them a really good shuffle. All right, here we go, y'all. Put that right there. I've got that there as my reminder. We're ready to start our battle. I'm going to do exactly 1 round, and then we'll call it a night. Okay, so let's draw our first card. It is a hero. That's what that symbol means. That is awesome. So we're going to go with our Hellion first. She is going to, you get 2 actions during your turn. So for her first action, she is going to be her barbarian-like self. Now, her Iron Swan can hit at 2 range, but I want to start moving her out of, like, I could try and take out one of these guys by doing this attack and then moving, but I think she does want to move. Now, that again, that Iron Swan is exactly 2 range. It does do quite a bit of damage, but so does her Wicked Hack, which is 0 range. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go 1, 2, which is her movement. That's her movement speed. Now that she's in there, she's going to use Wicked Hack. Could use if it bleeds is 1 range. I'm trying to get her around that corner there. We use Wicked Hack on the Arbalest, the Bone Arbalest. Now, he's got an 11. He doesn't have any armor, does he? He does have 1 dodge, but he doesn't have anything that will stop the damage. And he's got 11. So she's not going to kill him unless she crits. She's not likely to crit. It's only a 1. But we do get to roll the dice, so let's get the dice bowl out and see what we get. There's really no good place for the dice bowl in this, is there? I guess maybe right there. Maybe we'll just roll it on the table and hopefully don't knock a bunch of stuff over. How's that? All right, well, here's our D10. We're going to be trying to hit this Bone Arbalest right here with a Wicked Hack. We just need to roll an 8 or less because the Arbalest does have 1 dodge. So let's see if we can do it. A 5. We did hit. That's good. So she did, out of the 11 points that he has, she did 7 points of damage. So we're going to get into our tokens. We're going to do a 5, 6, and 7. There are no conditions applied with that ability. There's nothing really special about it. It just does damage. So there's 5, 6, and 7 to go on the Bone Arbalest. So I am putting that in a spot where it's not interfering with the stuff on the card. And that is her full action. Ooh, that wasn't good enough. Well, okay, let's draw another card. Hopefully we get another hero. We do not. So the Bone Soldier is going to go now. Now the Bone Soldier is with our Hellion. Now, what is he going to do? He is in the first position, so he's in this position. So if you look at this, he's going to do the first ability, which is going to be Graveyard Slash. He needs a 9 or less to hit. With the Hellion, that's going to be an 8 or less because she does have... he's going to go for the most wounded. Well, nobody's wounded right now. So then he'll go for the highest in aggressive stance, which is in fact the Hellion. So he will attack the Hellion. All right. Let's put this... Now what I do with these is I put these on their card. It seems to make it a little easier to track that way. Now, he is going to roll a d10 again, and he needs to roll a 9, an 8 or less to hit the Hellion. And when he does, he will hit her for, depending on if he crits or just hits, 5 or 9 damage. 5. So he does hit. He does not crit, which means he does 5 damage to the Hellion. Bam. There we go. Hellion has taken some damage. Now, there are no other, I'm looking to see, there are no other abilities with Graveyard Slash. It just does damage. All right, well, that was this guy here. That is the Bone Soldier who is here in this space with the Hellion. When does this trigger? I got to remember when this triggers. The corridors are too dark. Heroes ending their turn, so I need to increase the Hellion's... I mean, the Hellion's already got a lot of stress. We need to find ways to reduce stress. You know what does reduce stress? Stress criticals reduce stress. Yeah, it's very, very good. Okay, now let's see who goes next in order. It's going to be another enemy, so it's going to be the Bone Rabble. Now he is here. What's the Bone Rabble do? Now he's damaged, so he's not in the best shape. Let's see, he can move. He's got a movement of 1. And he is in the second stance, so he's going to use Bump in the Night. It has a 0. He's going to go for the closest. So he can't make it. That is fantastic. He cannot make it into the space. So what he's going to do is he will simply move there, and that is going to mark his turn. So when we get to go, we're going to get to charge in and do some damage. It's going to be fantastic. Okay. Let's see. Can we get a hero up? Now the 2 of the enemies have gone. Only 1 hero. There we go. The hero's card comes up. So our Highwayman is going to go next. He is right here. I think for him... he could do pistol shot, but we want to get him out of that space because I don't want him to end his turn in that space. So I think we're going to move him up and do a Wicked Hack. We might be able to kill the guy. Wicked Slice, rather. So he's going to move up here, and with his awesome dagger, he's going to attack the Bone Rabble. Now, the Bone Rabble does not have any dodge, so the Highwayman just needs a 9 to hit. Let's get a 4. We'll do it, and that is going to do 7 points of damage to the Bone Rabble. And that means now the Rabble is damaged as well. So we got the Bone Soldier and the Bone Rabble that are damaged. I've got their health right next to him. We'll show you that at the end of the round. And that was both of his actions because he moved and then attacked. So good job, Highwayman. Who goes next? It's going to be another hero. It's going to be our Grave Robber. Maybe we can kill that Arbalest before the Arbalest actually does anything. Wouldn't that be fantastic? So what do we want to do? What attack do we want with the... I don't see any value in... Well, here's the thing. This is good because it'll attack both of them. But neither of them are marked or blighted, so it doesn't do... How much damage? I need to do 4 more damage. I think what we're going to do... my intent with the Grave Robber was to be kind of a ranged character, but we got to get out of these darkness spaces. So for her first action, she's going to move 1, 2. Oh wait, can she? Is there enough? Yeah, 4 people can go into that space. Now this space is blocked. Now you can pass through it, but you can't land there. There's those dots here, if you can see them, denote how many characters can be in that space. It's a tactical part of the game. But we're going to do Pick to the Face. Needs a 9. It ignores armor, but they don't have any armor anyway. Has to be 0 range. That's why I moved her into the space with them. And we're going to do 4 damage or 7. So Pick to the Face doesn't do as much damage, but it does ignore armor in those cases where that's important. Let's see what we get here. An 8. Did we hit? We just hit the Bone Arbalest because the Bone Arbalest has 1 dodge. So an 8 is an exact hit. That does 4 more. And that will put the Bone Arbalest, rather. Bone Arbalest at 11, which will kill it. And we have taken out this guy, the Bone Arbalest. He will go back into the enemy pool, and the Weber will move up. But the Weber's still going to get to go. I'll show you the state of the enemy board when we get there. Okay, next up, there's only 1 enemy and 2 heroes left, or 1 hero left. So how'd that work out? Why are there 2 more cards? Oh, because we'll take out the last enemy card because the Bone Arbalest is gone. That's him right there. So he is dead. Take him off the board, and then we'll draw our next thing. So there's going to be a hero. It's going to be the Vestal. Nobody's really hurt, right? But we could do Dazzling. I can't stop there. She only has a movement of what? What is her movement? It's only 1. She cannot leave that space yet. Oh, that's not good. I should have moved him through here and attacked, but that's okay. I guess then she will do exactly what I thought she was going to do, which is... Now, our Torchlight right now says that monsters and heroes have a +1 to crit, but we never rolled low enough to crit. However, she's going to use her Dazzling Light. It can be done at 1. It's on range. It's not going to do enough to kill the Bone Rabble, which has 7 points out of its... it only has 6. We already killed it. Man, I'm making a few mistakes. I apologize. We've already done enough damage to kill the Bone Rabble. So that's actually a good thing. I didn't realize we did. I thought that the Bone Rabble took more damage than that. It's going to take me a round or 2 to get into the game. Sorry for that, y'all. That means the Weber is going to move back up into here, and we will put this initiative card aside. So that actually changes my play, I think. She is going to move up to here. And what is the range on Dazzling Light? It is range 1. So, but she can only move 1. So she can move up to here. She can see the space, so she can do Dazzling Light on the Bone Soldier right there. Now, they're in a safe space. They are not going to take the stress damage like the Hellion and the Grave Robber did. And I did move up the Grave Robber. I just didn't do it on... Yeah, okay. She's up to 4 now. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, slow it down. Let's see what we got going on here. The next up, the Vestal moved 1. Does anybody need any healing? I think somebody does. Oh, the Hellion does. So I can either Dazzling Light the Bone Rabble, or I can heal... I can heal everybody in space. The Grave Robber has no damage, so I'm not worried about that. I can do Divine Grace on the Hellion at 0 to 1 range. I think that's going to be the right thing to do. We're still going to roll. I need a 12 or lower to hit. The Hellion's not going to dodge, so the Hellion's going to take get the advantage of a heal. An 8 will do it. It's not a critical, but that means that the Hellion will recover 3 damage out of 5. So we will take the 5 off and put 2 back on to the Hellion. And that is the Vestal's turn. And then, of course, last but not least, we got the next 2 cards, which are going to be monster cards. There's only 2 monsters left, so this guy is going to get to go. He has a movement of 2, but what is he going to do? He is now in the most aggressive stance. So it says we're going to roll to see what ability it uses. So we rolled a 3. On a 3, what does it do? 1, 2, 3. It's going to use the first ability of Web. So the Web has a range of 1. It's going to attack the furthest hero at a range of 1. And it can move 2. Okay, so here's what it's going to do. It does have the ability to do that. It's going to attack the Hellion, who is also in the most aggressive stance. So it's going to go 1. Actually, it can't. What is the range on that again? The range is 1. So it is just going to move 1. And as I understand it, I'm going to double check this because it's been a while since I played. But I believe if it cannot meet its condition, it does nothing but move. I'm going to double check that because otherwise it could attack one of these guys with the Web. It would be the Highwayman. I think that's the way it go, but I'm going to check. Yeah. Here's what it says. The monster will move up to the maximum number of areas indicated by its speed, positioning itself in order to take its action according to the skill's range. If it is not within range of its target after moving, it will skip the rest of its turn. So the Webber comes up and it really just wanted to web the Hellion really badly. I did, however, miss something, so I'm going to correct that right now. It is not too late because we haven't finished the round, but here's something I have to do. So our guy had these bleed tokens, so we went through a round. At this round, this would have come off at the beginning of the round, and it would have put a damage on him instead. So we got to make sure to keep track of these things. The first thing we should look at when we get into each character's turn is what conditions they might have. That was the only condition that he had, so he does take another one, but on his next turn he will take one again. Or if we move through the hallways again, he will take yet another one. Okay, well that solved that. He might even be at 2 because when we passed into this room, I don't remember if he got the curio in the first room or it had to be the first pass or the second. I don't remember. Anyway, I think it was the first one, which means I think he's at 2 damage. But you know what? Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm not going to do more than 1 turn this turn. So I think he has 2 damage and 1 more bleed token left. I think that's the way it should be. It's one of those games where you get into the groove and you think everything's okay, and then you go, shoot, I missed something. Okay, we're still in this darkness, though, and that's not good. We got to get people into the light and get their stress healed up, particularly the Hellion. She's got to boogie. I think she's going to have to leave the Bone Rabble and run to the light, which she won't make this turn, but at least she can get out of there and not deal with stress. So we are done for this round, so I'm going to pick up the remaining cards. The only one left is we got the Bone Warrior and the Webber. So we got 2 villain cards and 4 hero cards in our deck here. So let's get those shuffled up. And then we'll start the next round. Maybe we can kill both of them before they even do anything to us. Wouldn't that be cool? Though the Hellion is going to hit and then run. So that's the way that's going to go. All right. Because the Beacon of Light says if you end your turn in one of the dark corridors. So we just won't want to end our turn. We're going to do another quick cut just to be sure I shuffle these up well enough. There we go. Let's see what we get. We got one of the bad guys. So the Bone Soldier is going first. Now, again, he goes after the most wounded, which is the Hellion. So he's going to attack the Hellion with his Graveyard Slash once again. That is going to be a 9, an 8 or less, because the Hellion does have a dodge. Needs an 8 or less. And it doesn't do anything, just damage. Quite a bit, 5 points. It's quite a bit. Let's see what it gets. A 3, God, that was almost a crit, because our torch is down 1, which means everybody has +1 crit. The crit on that was 1, so it'd be a 2. Rolled a 3. He does hit, however, and does 5 more points to the Hellion. The Hellion is at half health already after the first fight. But that means that the Bone Soldier is done. He didn't have to move to get there. He just stood there and did his thing. Now the Hellion's going to go. So the Hellion is going to attack back. Or do we go after the spider and leave? Yeah, this is a good idea. Okay, first thing we're going to do is move. She's got a movement of 2, so she's going to go 1, 2, right into the space with the spider. She can pass through here, but she can't stay there because only 2 characters can occupy that space. And then she's going to do, let's see, how tough is this? The Weber's only got a health of 5, so I think she's just going to do her Wicked Hack, which has 0 range, and will do 7 damage if she hits. It's got a 9. The Weber only has a defense or a dodge of 1. And so let's just see if she just kills a 5. She kills it outright with 7 points of damage. Boom! Goodbye, Mr. Spider. The Weber is dead. Now, unfortunately, you don't get anything for killing things. You just get to kill things. You know what I didn't do? Were there any chests in this room? I don't see any chest markers, actually. There weren't any, so I didn't screw that up. That's good. I don't see chest markers in here at all. Oh, wait, there's one down here in the corner. So let me just grab one at random. I don't know what... I got these chests here, these cool chests. Underneath it is the reward for the chest. There's one there. I'm just looking to see because these panels are kind of dark. If there was one in the first base, I would have left it alone anyway, but maybe I can get there and do something with that. We'll see before we kill everything. It takes an action to open a chest. It is, however, in darkness, so I don't know how I feel about that. Now, she does not take any damage, any more stress damage, because she is in a reasonably well-lit corridor. But let's see who goes next. Well, it's going to be the heroes, because the bad guy already went. So the Highwayman is going to go. And I think the Highwayman is going to take, checking their cards, take his last bleed token off, and takes 1 more bleed damage. Now, I have bandages. I could have done something with those, but we can heal. We're probably going to have to heal the Hellion again, right? Okay, so the Highwayman is going to go 1... Oh, he can only move 2, right? I have a feeling we're going to kill this thing before we get a chance to open that chest up. Nah, we can make it. So he's going to go 1, 2. Now he's in this space. These are separate, so he's not in the darkness. He didn't end his turn in the darkened area. That's all he gets to do is move there. And then we're going to go with the Grave Robber. What's the Grave Robber? I think the Grave Robber is going to... I want to get her out of the darkness. I don't want her staying there. If she attacks this guy, she's very likely to kill him. So I think... Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go... She can move 3. So she's going to go 1, 2, and 3 right into there. That's not a bad move for her. Now she has ended her turn in this space. Beacon of Light. Heroes ending their turn in this space recover 1. So she actually went down 1 in stress. Yay. Okay. And then last, now that was 1 turn. What does she want to do for her next one? Well, actually, she'll end her turn there. She's just going to end her turn there. We're trying to lure this guy out. So next up is going to be our Vestal. She's going to go 1, 2 to here to get out of the line of combat with the bad guy. And then she's going to cast her, I think, Divine Grace again on the Hellion. So let's see what she rolls. She rolls a 3. What is the crit chance for that? Oh, she crit! Oh, nice. So one thing that's cool about critting, when you crit, everybody in your space, including yourself, loses a stress. So the Highwayman lost a stress, and the Vestal lost a stress. But we also crit on the healing damage, which is going to then be what? Is it 5? Looks like 5. 5 points of healing. No, that can't be right. Yeah, it's 5. So we're going to take a 5 token off of the Hellion. She's been healed for 5, and that is going to be the end of the Vestal's turn. And that's going to be the end of the round. Now we are... Oh, sorry, I didn't move the round marker. We are on round... That was round 2, so we're now on round 3. We have to kill the guy in another round. Let me show you. So it's going to take me a fight or two to remember all the mechanics. There's so much that goes on in this game. But this is the combat tracker. You can only go 4 rounds. If you go more than 4 rounds, you lose. We're not going to go more than 4 rounds. He's going to come after us and attack us. Probably the Hellion, who's going to take more damage, but she's back up to only having 2 damage on her. So it's not so bad. Is it 2 or 3? 2. Not so bad. So we're okay, and then we're going to get to open this chest. And I probably will send the Vestal in to do that, because the Vestal is fine. So, okay, well, maybe I'll send the Hellion in. No, the Hellion needs to step into the light. Anyway, we got 4 hero cards, 4 heroes to go, and only 1 villain. So let me get the 4 hero cards out and 1 villain card, and we'll shuffle those up. And then we'll go again. Oh, I said I was only going to do 1 round. I'm doing the whole fight, but that's okay. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Hopefully, if the villain goes later, that would be better, because then we can go get the chest, charge in, and do our thing. The Highwayman can take a little stress right now, because he's okay. Alright, let's see what we get. We get a hero, so that she's going to go first. She's going to step into here for the first part of her turn. For the second part of her turn, again, that's the only part with a chest. Okay, just double checking. I don't see another. So you can see the chest token right there, the chest marker. Okay, she's just going to stay there and end her turn there, so she recovers a stress, because she was getting stressed out. And if she can stay there a whole nother round, she will do it. Okay. Next up is the enemy. So the enemy only has a movement of 1. So he can't get to anybody. He's just going to move here. He's heading toward the our Hellion, but can't get there, so we're okay there. That is his turn. Our next turn is going to be the Highwayman. The Highwayman is going to step into here for his first action. Second action is going to pick up a chest. Now, what is that? That means, I don't know. We'll have to look it up. Hold on. There's cards for this. There's little reference cards for just about everything. I think they show what each of these are, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it's in the book. Just looking to see if they have it on a card. That would be useful, but it doesn't look like they do. They do not have this on one of the reference cards. So let me look it up. Okay, this is roll for double gold. That's a really good one. Or get a provision die of our choice. So we still have multiple rooms to go on. And I really think we need a torch, just in case we run into some curios. So I think this chest is going to go aside, and we are going to pick a provision. And what the provision that's going to be in that chest was a torch. So we'll put that with our remaining provisions. We have 2 potions, or 2, I think, can't remember what they're called exactly. I have to look on the, I should know because I play the computer game. It's called potions. That's what I thought. 2 bandages, a torch, and a shovel. Okay, we got that. So now we just need to kill the bad guy. So hopefully, so next up will be the grave robber rather. She's got a movement of 3, so she's just going to go. It'd be nice to de-stress him. Do I just wait it out another turn since he's already gone? And kill him in the 4th round? I mean, everybody will just jump him, so we're going to kill him. I think so. Why not take the stress health? Okay, she's going to do nothing for her turn and just get 1 more stress. And then the Vestal... Oh wait, I got to increase the Highwayman's stress by 1 because he stayed in this room, so he's up to 3. Or 4 rather. And then the Vestal, I think, will go... Who's hurt? You know, the Highwayman has more damage right now than the Hellion. So I think she's going to use her Divine Grace on the Highwayman. She rolled a 5, so he's going to get, what, 3? Is it 3 back? That's exactly what he had in damage. So all that bleed damage is gone. Okay. And then for her second action, she'll go... She moves what? She can move 1. She'll move here. Just she'll stay where she's at. That way she won't be a target. Okay. Well, I don't think she will be anyway, but yeah, you never know. All right. That means that we have completed that round. So we're going to go on to the 4th and final round. And we're going to have to tear this guy up, I think, and get it done. So we have all of our cards here. We're going to shuffle them up. Hopefully we get to go first. We can just go and obliterate the guy. That would be awesome. And if I can leave the Hellion there 1 more turn, that would be even more awesome. So let's see who goes first. Is it us? Oh, perfect. Hellion does nothing. She's going to do... I'm going to rely on the others. She's only got 4 health left. We're going to kill him. So she's going to stay there and reduce her stress 1 more time with the Beacon of Light. She's down to the same amount as the Highwayman now. Next up, another hero goes, so that's going to be the Highwayman. He's going to go 1, 2 to there, and then he will do his one of his other abilities, Pistol Shot. Now, this combat has seemed relatively easy. I promise you they're not. Remember, managing and mitigating these things like distress and damage is really important in the game, so we're doing that. Okay, a range of 1 to 2, so we're range 1, accuracy 9, meaning we need an 8 or less to hit, because he's there. If he was marked, we'd do extra damage, but he's not. So we're going to roll and see. We rolled a 9. We miss. Okay, is this the way it's going to go? Are we going to lose this fight because I made a mistake of not attacking and doing everything first? That's awful. Okay, now he's going to go. So, of course, he will move 1. He's going to go with the most wounded, which is the Hellion. So he cannot... It has a range of 1, actually. So he can move up here and attack the Hellion right there with his Graveyard. No, Graveyard Slash, yeah, it does have a range of 1. Okay. Now, he needs an 8 or less to hit the Hellion. He rolls an 8, so he does exactly hit. And that is going to cause 5 points of damage to the Hellion. Yuck. We're going to do some more healing on the Hellion. There that goes. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Next up, the Grave Robber. The Grave Robber is going next. She has no statuses or anything on her. Just going to go. And I think she'll do the pick to the face. Let's see. Hopefully she doesn't miss. That would be awful. A 1. Instead, she crit, which is great. She's in the space with the Hellion. So she goes down 1 on stress, as does the Hellion. Now we're at a really good place stress-wise. And she just did 7 points of damage and killed the Bone Soldier. And that is going to be the end of that fight. We'll clean up the fight in the next episode. So, y'all, I probably had a few bumps in the road there, but I think in the end everything was done mostly correctly. You're going to find this game it's going to be very difficult for you to get everything right every time. It's kind of a complicated game that way. But we did get to open a chest. We did get to loot some things. And next episode, we're going to continue on and hopefully complete this dungeon. There's only one other room with a fight in it. If there's another curio room, we could end up with a curio, but we only got 1 experience so far, so we got to keep going. All right, I will talk to you in the next episode. Take care, and I hope you enjoy this playthrough of Darkest Dungeon. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.